Hey guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not new here, welcome back. My name is Danielle and this is my perspective. Today, boys and girls, we will be talking about feminine pads, menstrual products, whatever you want to call it. This is the no-sew version. I will show you some sewed versions, but mine is the no-sew version. And I'm gonna get y'all some details and all that. So, back in the day, y'all, I used to use a cup. No, wait, even back before then, like I would use like buy at the store pads, right? And then something started happening. Like I was like, oh no, like this is giving me some type of reaction. And so my daughter was like, she used a different type. And so I stopped way back when, and she was just like, nope, mine are fine. But then the next month or 2 months later, she was just like, mommy. And so like, I was like, shenanigans, I'm not doing this stuff anymore. So I started trying to see like what different alternatives would be and how I could use it that works for me. And so I ended up with the cup. Yeah, I done piled. My bad, y'all. So this is a menstrual cup. Now this, I have, let's just say I like bathrooms to be clean before I will go. If the bathroom is not clean, I will not go. Like I will work an entire 8-hour shift and not go to the bathroom. Like I know y'all gonna be like, that's not healthy or whatever. A cup, this is still in the wrapper, y'all. It's not used or anything. A cup would actually take me all day, and I'd be like, okay, cool. And so cups can last you like many years. I would buy mine like 3 and 4 at a time. And so it's just because like I might use a cup for like 3-4 years, and then I'm like, let me switch out and use another one. Like it wouldn't be anything wrong with it, but I'm just like, I don't know, it's just me. So fast forward a little bit, I started oh, and even though I wore a cup, I would still wear a pad to have like that backup protection. And just I always have backup protection. And so fast forward a little bit, and y'all, like I would start sneezing every time I had my cycle. Like every time I get my cycle, I sneeze. And people are like, Danielle, you don't get sick. What's going on? I'm like, ugh. So then I got to tell people, hey, y'all, every time like I get my cycle, I sneeze. It's gonna seem like I have a cold. I don't. It's just I'm sneezing. And so like everybody, wherever I work, they would be like, oh, we know what's going on, because like, yeah, I wouldn't get sick. Like decades passed, and so they would know, oh, she's on her cycle. And so I was just like, huh. And so I would still do that, but then I started doing where I would back up with my own pads. And so I would do my DIY pads. And then like I still had some that I bought from the store that was still left over. So I was just like, well, those are just gonna sit in the cabinet because I didn't know what to do with them, because I was using my own DIY stuff. And then the cup. And so fast forward again, y'all, a horror story happened. So I'm working my entire shift. Now at this particular place, it was cool because like I could come to work, I would still have the cup. I would come to work. On my lunch break, I would go home, take a shower, clean up everything, switch out brand new, come back to work, and not worry about anything being full or anything, like nothing, like I'm good. So there was this one particular day, and at this place, there was one particular day where you get no breaks. You don't get lunch, you don't get breaks. Like you have to be working the entire 8-hour shift. And like they would bring food into you, and you had to do like a working lunch. Like you couldn't take that time. And so it was just like, so I had made it through the entire day, y'all. It was like 5 minutes left of my shift, and I had this sneeze. Y'all, when I had that sneeze, the cup completely dislodged. excuse me, and it's because throughout the day, throughout that work shift, I have been sneezing. And so like that last sneeze was the breaking point, and it was just like, we're free, and I was just like, oh no. So yeah, without too many details, y'all can guess what happened. So I was just like, I'm done with this cup. And then I was like, maybe the cup is the reason I'm sneezing as well, because my body is seeing it as a foreign material or something. Like, I don't know, like, yeah. So I decided to stop using the cup and just give it a break and everything, and to see if it would help me to stop sneezing. It didn't, but I still stopped because I still kind of think that my body was just like, didn't like that or something was going on. So I still don't use the cup, which is why you see that one still in the package. So what I do use is I use pads. Now I'm gonna show y'all a whole lot of different pads, because this is my life for years. And so I get every time, so I get my materials from Joann, right? When Joann, y'all see when they have their blizzard fleece or fleece, when they have that on sale, like 50 to 60% off, that's when you can go shopping. And usually I'll just get like a yard. Yeah, usually I'll get like a yard, unless I just be like, whew. The reason I get a yard is because I get more than one, because it's like fun shopping. Y'all see my hammock right there? My hammock, but it's holding all of my stuff, so I can't, we just gonna act like we don't see it. So yeah, when I go to Joann and pick up my supplies, I'm picking up some supplies. And so this right here, this is a fleece. I'm gonna show y'all, try to show you how thick it is. So this is one of their fleeces. And so I just get this. Now you can get whatever color you want. And it also has, can y'all see that texture? So it has that texture. So this is what I use as a layer. Keep that in mind. Another one, and it absorbs just fine. This is a different one. Like, I don't know what this material is. It's still over there with the fleece, and it feels nice and soft too. It's a little bit, maybe not thinner, I don't know. But this bad boy, like, so I take it and I cut it as long as I want it, because like when y'all go buy commercial pads, they might not be long enough. Like if you want something that's long, you got to get it overnight. Like, so like when you do your own pads, you can cut them as long as you want, as wide as you want. And I am sometimes lazy, so I'll make mine a little bit wider so that I don't have to have like the wings or anything like that. And it's definitely covering, like it's covering. And so I like that. So for this one, this is one that I actually use. Y'all will not see any stains. These are not stains. It's just the reflection of the light. I may or may not have OCD, so y'all, we ain't staining nothing. If it stains, trust me, I'm throwing it in the trash. The only ones that I have had that stain are products that I buy from people who sell sewed pads. Like they sew pads and they are like, hey, do buy my reusable pad. Like those are the only ones that stain, and I'm gonna tell you why. So anyway, like I could take this and I can double it, and this still will not work as a pad for me, because like I'm one of those people who need like an overnight for the entire day, and then an overnight for the nighttime. So yeah, without giving too many details. This right here, I think it's called like felt. I think this is felt. So it's really thin. Y'all, I don't sew, so my edges are frayed. It's really thin, and I like this color. So it has different colors, y'all, and it really confuses me, because I'll look and I'll be like, is that a stain? But it's not a stain. Like I don't even use that part. Like, y'all, whatever. So what I do is I'm gonna show y'all what this is. This is my bottom layer. Like when you have a pad, you'll see that it has the top layer, the layers in the middle, and then the bottom. That's what I use for my bottom layer when I use it. I don't use it for the most part because now I know my cycle. I know how much to layer and everything. What you need for your top layer. This is called Minky. Minky, M-I-N-K-Y. So it's in the baby section and it is so freaking soft. It is super thin, but don't let the super thinness fool you. And so you get it in whatever colors you want. This is of course something that I still cut from. And like I said, I buy at least a yard at a time, but I get multiple colors. And so like the Minky, I have quite a few different ones. Y'all, this one, don't make fun of it. So I need to cut this. This is embarrassing. But yeah, you can make your own. This one is an experiment. So there is Pool, P-U-L, polyurethane liner or something like that. This is the material that you can make diaper bags, wet bags, things like that. It's like the slippery material. So I wanted to see how it would be if I made a pad that had this to keep it from like anything from leaking. But that is so much work, y'all. It is so much work because what you need to do is you would take your top layer, your layers that go in between. So I'm sorry, so that go here. But then like if you have this, like if it gets liquid on it, guess what it's gonna do? It's gonna run off. So you can't have this just be like the back, plus it's slippery. It's gonna slide all over. So then you need yet another layer. And so it was just like, when you put all those layers together, it's really difficult for me to wash. I hand wash everything. And so it's difficult for me to wash because yeah. So the pad works just fine. And that was this pad. This is the back. This is another felt type thing, like I said, that I use for backing. And so this is the back. Yes, it does peel or whatever, get the little whatever's, but this one, as thin, maybe it doesn't look thin to you, but as thin as this is 3 layers on the inside, plus the PUL, plus the back, plus the top. This bad boy does not leak. So yeah, the only thing that I don't like about this one is it's not long enough. So I like full coverage. I mean, if you're doing a DIY, do full coverage. The other thing about layering, when you layer, let me give you some pros and cons. When you layer, you can take your fabrics that absorb, you know that they absorb. I'm telling you, fleece absorbs. And then this reddish one that I showed you, this thing absorbs like nobody's business. And this is softer than the fleece. I think it's still in the fleece section, but I don't know what it's called. But it absorbs like crazy. And so sometimes what I'll do is I'll take a material that's just like this long, and I will fold it in half. So it's usually like this, but I'll just fold it in half, and that way it's automatically doubled for me. The issue is that once you get so many of these, it can be thick to wear, but I don't care because I'm fully protected. The other thing that I do love when I do it my way and I layer it like this, like anytime I go to the bathroom or whatever, I can be like, okay, I need this much more protection on top of what I already have. I didn't go through everything that I'm already wearing, so maybe I just need one layer, you know, can take it out instead of you having to take out a whole freaking pad. Like you can just take off one layer. Or if you want and you went through 2 layers, you can take off just 2 layers. You don't have to take off the entire thing. The other thing about that is that when you hand wash them, just because like I said, I hand wash. Hand washing is super easy. You wash these bad boys while you're taking a shower. while you're taking a shower, just let it hit the water while you getting hit with the water. It'll run. When it runs clear, that's when I take the soap and I wash it by hand like this, the entire front and back and everything, and then I rinse it, and then it hangs on a rack just like my towels do. Nobody's going in the bathroom. It's my bathroom. Like, I don't share, so you know, you can do that. And I actually let mine dry that way. I don't put my stuff in the washing machine or the dryer because it's too difficult for me to keep up with, is this detergent gonna make it so that this no longer absorbs liquid, no longer absorbs my fluid the way that I need it to. And so I don't want it to mess anything up, number one. Number two, I am highly sensitive to a lot of things, and so I don't want to get into anything where it's just like, this has to be on my body, like super close and everything. And so yeah, I just don't deal with that. I don't want to do the whole where they say do a vinegar rinse with like vinegar, white vinegar in the rinse cycle to help make sure that things still absorb, what you do with baby diapers, like cloth diapers. That's too complex for me. So I do layers. Every now and then I will experiment to see how things are. Y'all, this right here, do y'all see how thin this bad boy is? When this was first sewn, it was thick. This one, and I have another one. Did I bring it? Maybe I didn't bring it. But they were super freaking thick because, wait, this one wasn't thick because this one is this top layer, which is minky. So minky is going to kind of absorb, but it won't make everything go to the second level. Like this minky will hold some stuff, but keep you dry. Like, oh my goodness. Like, yeah. And so that's what this minky does. Like, this minky is a game changer. For the longest time, I would just wear pads that just had this, and it'll go through. Like, it goes through, and yeah, it's just like, but guys, but when you put this top layer, you need less. You don't need so many layers, or you don't need to change them out as often. So this has the minky, which is the top layer. It has two of these pink ones, which is the fleece. And then it has my bottom layer, which is the felt. The felt actually helps everything stay in place, not move so much. And it also helps so that, like, if I am, let's say that I'm layered, because I'm layered, this stuff, this felt takes a while for it to absorb and something go to the next level. I wouldn't use it as a layer, but as a backing, it helps it. So like if you see where maybe you've gone through 2 layers and you stayed in for way too long, this is gonna still help. It's gonna still help and keep you protected from any accidents or anything. How long do I wear any given pad? It depends. I can wear my pads on a heavy day. I have the backing, and then I might start with 3 layers of fleece and then minky. And so minky is gonna be just long like this, wrong side, long like this, right? And so I'll start with that. That's on a heavy day. And then after maybe 3-4 hours, you know, whenever I go to the bathroom, if I've gone through 1 layer, I'm just gonna take off the 1 layer and the minky, and I'm gonna switch out, get a new minky and a new layer. That's just what it is. If I know that it's halfway into day 1 and then I'm gonna start getting heavier, then I'll add another layer. If I have to go somewhere and I'm going to be gone for an extended amount of time, I'll just take, y'all, this is just me. I'll take something that's like a pad that I have sewn, because it's going to be thin. Even though it's all these freaking layers, it's going to be thin. And so I'll take something like this And then I might put this on top. So it'll be like this. And of course, once it hugs to you and everything, it's not so freaking bad. But again, everybody do their own preference. And so if you sew will help make it very thin for you. No matter how many layers you have, it'll make it thin. The only issue is that for me to dry this is going to be dry in a couple of hours. This, with me still air drying it, it's going to take even longer for it to dry. It's going to have to sit there overnight, and then it's going to be dry. And so that's the only thing is, and the other thing is that a lot of times I won't go through an entire pad, but I can't see how many layers I went through. So I'm just gonna have to take the entire pad off and start with a whole nother pad. Versus when I have layers, I can just take off this one layer, these two layers, and that's generally how I work. I usually work where I just take off one or two layers, and then I have, because it's me, and then I have another 2 layers or so that are just like backup protection. So I mean, you never know. You might have to go run out and you're in the streets longer than you expected to be in the streets, or you know, you have to go run and go do some errands, and yeah, you're still in the streets. Another thing that you can do, a lot of times I am doing road trips, and my road trips might be like 13-14 hour road trips. And so if I'm on a road trip, I definitely have my stash with me, but I have a Ziploc bag, a sandwich bag, Ziploc bag. That's all I take. And then I take, and like these pads, shoot, they're not real, they're just layers. So like I take it, fold it again, fold it again. And so I'll just have like a pad that's just like this. Sometimes I'll even fold it again. It just depends. Like every now and then you get a hold of like a really small bag, or I get nervous and I'm like, let me take extra. And so I'll just take however many pads I think I need, and I'll put it in a sandwich baggie. When I go to the public bathroom, then I take out however many layers I have, and all those layers, or whatever, you know, I'm in the car. So in the car, I kind of know, like I know my body. And so I might be like, okay, let me take in 2 layers. And so I'll put 2 layers in the sandwich baggie. I'll go into the bathroom, in the public bathroom, and then I'll take my 2 layers that I'm wearing, I'll take those out before I go into the stall. Before I go into the stall, I'm gonna grab some paper towels. It's just me, y'all. So I'm grabbing paper towels. When I'm sitting down, I am taking toilet paper. And so I take off what I have, fold it up, put it in the toilet paper, put it in the paper towel, put the paper towel in my sandwich baggie. Take the sandwich, this is of course out of the sandwich baggie, but then I'm putting this on to replace what I just took off. I hope that makes sense. So that's just my system. I do not like to sew because y'all see, I can do some raggedy sewing, number 1. Number 2, like when you do this, you gotta cut like a bazillion layers, just the same size, shape, and everything. Otherwise, you're gonna end up with something that just ain't right. And yeah, we don't want to do all that. For me, still doing my own thing, like I do have some that are longer, like y'all can't even see this on the whole screen. So I have some that are longer, and what I do, I'll just cut slits in them. So these slits now become my wings. And so when it gets to where your underwear is naturally bending and everything, because I cut the slits, the material can bend as well. And so that's nice. And y'all, I do have some that I'm not showing, but they go literally from the very beginning of one elastic band in the front to the elastic band in the back. And then I make sure it is covering my legs, because y'all, one thing I hated growing up, like middle school, high school, adulthood, is when you go to sleep and you gotta sleep all careful and gingerly and all that, and the slightest anything. Like I used to have a time where I would sleep sitting up, every month. I would sleep sitting up like this because I wasn't trying to have an accident. So like, yeah. And so with me doing my own thing, like I get to layer and then I make them really long. We talking full coverage. Another thing you can do is when I first started wearing exclusively my own pads is I would take those pads that I had put in the cabinet that I would buy from the store. I had some left over. You take that and you use that as your layer of protection. So you take that as your layer of protection because you might think that you need 3 layers. And so as you're going through your day, if you don't change out adequately, then the pad that you bought from the store is going to catch anything. And so you're like, I didn't do enough. And if it's a whole lot on the pad that you bought from the store, you was a whole layer off probably. If it's just a little bit, then probably should have just changed it a little bit sooner. So you can judge that way. Another thing that I did after a while, when I ran out of those pads that I bought from the store, I just went and got some Thinks. I don't have them in here. But they are still in the package. I have bought 2 pair. One pair I did use and I tried out. It's okay. Like nothing leaked through, but at that point in time, I was good with knowing how many layers I need. Number 1. Number 2, because I used the right amount of layers, that elastic band for them thighs, the leg part, man, it was like trying to cut my legs off. And I was just like, oh yeah, no. So I stopped using those because like, ooh, my hand was scary. Did you see it? So yeah, I use my own underwear. I don't use the Thinks or the period panties, whatever you want to call them. I don't use those. So like I said, I have a whole nother pair that's still in the package that I haven't even used because I'm good. Like I know how to work my own thing now. Like I know everything. And so I have so much material that I have yet to use because like the material lasts you for years. And yeah, because it lasts you for years. Because I mean, at the end of the day, you're using it for like, if you're like me, you're using it for like 10 days each month. And because I have a variety, I get to switch out. And so, yeah, it lasts you quite a long time. When you do want new colors, of course, you can add new colors. I don't use this one so much. It's very pretty, but I don't use it that much because at the end of the day, like, I like the darker colors, guys. I like the darker colors. So so that's why you see me with darker colors, but also at the same time, like I don't want anything that's just like meh. So yeah. Store-bought. So let's go, not store-bought. When you buy pads, I didn't bring any in here. Oh, there's one other thing. Y'all, my life. These right here, these are super duper small. They are called the labia petals or something like that. I'm trying to find a store-bought one. This is another one of my homemade ones, y'all. This bad boy, it has been through, it is, I can't tell how many layers it is. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 4. That's 2. So there's 1, there's 2, there's 3, there's 4. So it's 4 layers, y'all, of fleece on the inside, the felt backing, the minky top. Like, y'all, this bad boy will absorb some stuff for you. So, but like I said, when you sew it, like imagine this would be like, y'all can just imagine if I took like 4 layers of some material and then, my goodness, y'all can imagine if I took 4 layers of material plus the bottom plus the top and you wearing it around, like it's gonna be a little bit thick, But these right here, these are hand sewn, y'all, and homemade cut. But once you wear them, I think maybe 2 times, maybe 3 times, like after you wear them 2 or 3 times, and I'm of course wash them between, then it definitely gets where it's just like bendy and flexible and all of that. It's just that these right here, they need to be longer. Like, I don't play when it comes to protection. Like, protect me. Like, don't have protect me, protect me. But there's this store, y'all, did I drop it somewhere? Y'all, there is this store, and so on her online store, she had said that she was doing interlabial petals or something, and I was just like, what is that? What do you do? What, I've never heard of it. Like, yeah, what is that? And so she said that basically this kind of rest, yeah, let me not use that hand, let me use this hand. So this kind of rest, so you don't necessarily stick it up in you, but it goes between the 2 lips, and it's interlabial, and so it basically helps absorb. It's freaking amazing. Like, it's actually great. And so it helps absorb. And so let's say that you go somewhere and you can't take all the layers that you want. Like, I'm telling you, if you try this out, like, it's super amazing. And she had one, y'all, my life, this hammock eats stuff. So this is hers. And so you basically like do this and you just let it rest. Like, I don't know what words are offensive to people. And so like you do that. But the issue number 1, you see this right here, how she has this sewn. Do I need to tell you what it's like to try to wash that and get it clean? So this is unused because I was like, y'all, but I did use another one. But because I used another one, you see what this material is like? This is like some kind of like cotton something. But this stuff stains. Like, it stains. This right here, because it's the fleece, it doesn't stain. If you wanted to use something like minky does not stain. Y'all, minky, it is so freaking hard to stain any of my materials. But when these people are using stuff like cotton, like, it's going to stain. Like, I don't, yeah. So anyway, it really does work. The only reason I don't use them, like, I've made my own, as y'all see, the only reason I don't use them is because when you gotta go pee, you first of all have to remember that this is here. Because if you don't, you're gonna sit on the toilet and you're just gonna like pull your underwear down, sit on the toilet and go pee. And guess what's gonna be floating in the toilet? And do you think I'm going fishing? Like, no, I'm not even, no. I'm not going fishing. So yeah, that's why I don't use these. Otherwise, they are great. Like, this, it's so freaking amazing. But this can be like the equivalent of like, I don't know, like if you know that you have to go somewhere and you got to do like 5 hours, you got to be away for 5, 6 hours, 7, 8 hours, but you have one of these on, plus you have your pad. Like, when you go to the bathroom the first time, you take this off after X amount of hours. Like, let's say it's been like 3 or 4 hours, you take this off and you just know you're gonna have to take all the other pads off too. Yeah, you might be done went through 1 layer because you use this. Now, for me, if I don't use this and I go 4 or 5 hours, I might go through 2 or 3 layers. No, 2 layers plus the minky. But if I use this, no, just this, then I'm gonna go through maybe 1 layer. So this little thing, y'all, is just, yeah. So I think that's what I have for today. The ones from the store, so I bought both of mine online, different places. One of them, it absorbs great. I am not going to lie, it does great at absorbing. But she has, this is a different lady, but she has like cotton for the top layer. It stains, number 1. Number 2, I wore one of her pads to one of my jobs, and it was 8 hours plus add another hour for me driving back and forth to work and to get home. So about 9.5 hours. Y'all, it took me so long to clean it because she used Zorb, Z-O-R-B. Zorb is a great absorber, and it allows you to have even less layers because you can just use Zorb. Zorb, when I checked back in like maybe 2015 or a little bit before, but when I checked, it was expensive. Number one. Number two, when I was reading up on Zorb, it's not supposed to touch your skin. So you need a layer above it and a layer below it so that it doesn't come into contact with you. But it's like a super duper absorber. And so I even hear that some of your commercial brands use materials like Zorb to help absorb. And so yeah, so she has that, but y'all, that takes forever to clean. Like, I'm telling you, and this is me who knows how to clean, and so it takes forever to clean. And then when you think it's clean and you go ahead with the soap, and then the soap just comes out and it's just like, yeah. So we cleaned a whole lot more that you can't see, and so it takes me literally, I'm cleaning over the span of 2 different days just to clean, and then it takes just as long or a little bit longer to dry. And there was one point where it was taking so long to dry. Like, y'all, I took that bad boy to work and let it sit there in the sun while I was at work. It was just in my vehicle, just resting. And I had it, of course, most people don't know that it's a pad, but yeah, I had it so that you couldn't tell that it was a pad. But I'm sitting there like, this thing was taking forever to dry. And eventually, for one of those, like I bought 2 from her, one of those I actually did have to throw it in the dryer, and it took the entire hour cycle, and it was the only thing in the dryer. And it was just like, so yeah, while it's very good, number one, it stains. I will not wear a pad that is stained, because that's me. Like, even if I know that it's clean, it's stained, I'm not gonna wear it. So I don't wear her products anymore. I mean, they absorb very good. So if that's somebody, y'all let me know in the comment section, like, hey, what's the name of the company? So yeah, because I forgot what it is right off the bat. I would have to, Generation Me. I think it's Generation Me or something like that. So yeah, I would, yeah. So that's what I have. If you want to do no sew, there's definitely ways that you can do no sew. You just get the pads, you layer it. That's my preferred method, is to just layer. And every time I go to the bathroom, like, I have my entire stash with me, and I know, okay, I need a layer of this, I need a layer of that. Or if I don't want to do a layer of this, a layer of that, like, I'll take one that's a bigger one and I'll just double it over, you know. Or if I get to a different point, I have done where I make my own little so like, it just depends on who, what, where. Like, you get to do your own thing. And this is another one that I did. So this is probably 2 layers inside minky, and then this felt on the back. And so yeah, the felt also helps keep things from moving all around. But another thing that I do is I do make mine so that they are long enough so that they're not bunching up or any of those. So yeah, I hope I didn't really confuse you, but it is so easy to do DIY stuff. Minky is a game changer. This little interlabial thing that I was telling you about is a game changer. Make sure that you're using a material that you are comfortable with. The only thing is, like I said, if you really got to go pee or anything like that and you forget that you have that, then it's just like, wow. And then the other thing is just like, because for me it'll be thoroughly soaked, then it's just like, where do I put this? Because it's so freaking small. Whereas with this one, like, I mean, y'all can already guess, but if this is this long and it's already soiled, like, I take it off and I simply fold it again, and then the half that has nothing on it is the half that I can actually rest on the counter right next to me until I get over to the sink and wash it, you know. But with this right here, it's just like, yeah, I don't want to just put this on my counter. Like, so just those things. People do make their own wet bags with these. I don't know how to make a wet bag, so I haven't made a wet bag. When I do travel, like I said, I will use a sandwich baggie. And if I don't have a sandwich baggie and it's me wearing a sweatshirt, I'll wear a sweatshirt with a pocket in the front, and I'll just put however many pads I need in the front. And like I said, when I go to the bathroom, I'm grabbing those paper towels, I'm wrapping it in toilet paper, and it goes right back in the pocket that's in the front of my sweatshirt. When I get to wherever I need to get to, which is my car, then I'll just take it and put it where it needs to be, which I always have bags in the car, but sometimes, you know, you don't want to take and put some big shopping bag into the store with you, into the bathroom with you. So if I don't have a little bag, I came unprepared, because I have pads everywhere, because people don't know that they're pads, number one. Number two, the same way that you had extra pads in the car when you were buying pads, like I make sure I have pads wherever, and it's just material. So for the most part, nobody knows what it is, because I don't have a whole pad just laid out like this. Like, I'm going to fold it again, fold it again. Other times I'll take it and I'll roll it. So there you go. This video is super long. I am so sorry, but it is a thorough explanation. If you still have any questions, comments, concerns, or anything like that, please put it in the comment section below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you like my channel, want to subscribe to my channel, please subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so you are notified as soon as I upload a video. Again, I am so sorry for the length. Y'all have a great day. Bye, y'all.